The Atomic Frontier, a comprehensive investor's guide to Oklo Inc., OKLO. In the investing world of January 2026, few sectors are as electric, both literally and figuratively, as advanced nuclear energy. At the heart of this movement is Oklo Inc., ticker OKLO. Often referred to as a big tech energy play, Oklo has transitioned from a speculative startup into a cornerstone of the global race to power artificial intelligence. As of January 17, 2026, Oklo is making major headlines following a landmark 1.2 gigawatt power agreement with Meta Platforms, a groundbreaking other transaction agreement, or OTA, with the Department of Energy, and a stock price that has seen intense institutional accumulation. However, before you commit your capital, it is essential to understand that Oklo is not a traditional utility company. It is a high-stakes bet on the future of physics, regulation, and the insatiable power hunger of the AI revolution. 1. What is Oklo, beyond the traditional reactor? Founded by Jacob DeWitte and Carolyn Cochran and backed significantly by OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, Oklo is designing fast fission reactors known as the Aurora Powerhouse. To understand Oklo, you must understand how it differs from the massive nuclear plants of the 20th century. The technology: fast fission and liquid metal. Traditional nuclear plants use slow neutrons and require massive amounts of water for cooling. Oklo's Aurora reactors use fast neutrons and are cooled by liquid metal, sodium. Small and modular. Instead of a sprawling complex, an Aurora Powerhouse is a compact design that can produce between 15 megawatts and 75 megawatts of power. Fuel recycling. One of Oklo's most ambitious goals is to use spent nuclear fuel, recycling the nuclear waste from older plants to power its reactors. This turns a multi-billion-dollar waste problem into a clean energy resource. The business model: power as a service, or PaaS. Oklo does not intend to build reactors and sell them to utilities. Instead, they plan to own and operate the reactors themselves. Under this model, a customer, like a data center or an industrial factory, signs a long-term power purchase agreement, or PPA. They pay Oklo for the electricity, while Oklo handles the construction, licensing, and operation. 2. The 2026 inflection point: the Meta deal and the AI supercluster. The narrative around Oklo shifted dramatically on January 9, 2026, when the company announced a major agreement with Meta Platforms. The 1.2 gigawatt power campus. Meta and Oklo are collaborating on a 1.2 gigawatt nuclear energy development in Pike County, Ohio. This is designed to provide clean, baseload power to Meta's massive data centers in the region, including their AI supercluster. Significance: this is industrial-scale deployment. 1.2 gigawatts is enough to power nearly 1 million homes. Funding mechanism: the agreement includes a mechanism for Meta to prepay for power, providing Oklo with non-dilutive cash to secure nuclear fuel and advance the first phase of construction. Timeline: pre-construction and site characterization are slated to begin in 2026, with the first phase targeted to come online as early as 2030. 3. The OTA advantage: bypassing traditional hurdles. One of the biggest obstacles for any nuclear company is the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, or NRC, which has historically been a slow and rigid gatekeeper. However, in early 2026, Oklo utilized a strategic other transaction agreement, or OTA, with the Department of Energy, or DOE. Atomic alchemy and radioisotopes. Through its subsidiary Atomic Alchemy, Oklo signed a DOE agreement on January 9, 2026, to support a radioisotope pilot plant. Regulatory flexibility. OTAs allow companies to operate outside certain traditional federal contracting constraints, providing an agile framework for innovation. The goal: by building and operating pilot reactors on DOE sites like Idaho National Laboratory, Oklo generates the data needed to streamline future commercial deployments and prove their tech works before the final NRC licensing is complete. 4. Financial health: valuation versus reality. As of mid-January 2026, Oklo's financial profile is a study in high-growth speculation. The financials: revenue, $0. The company remains in its pre-revenue development phase. Cash position: bolstered by the Meta prepayment mechanism and a $2 billion fuel development agreement signed in late 2025, Oklo has a substantial runway. Institutional support: institutions own roughly 85% of the stock, reflecting a massive vote of confidence from professional money managers despite the current earnings. Short interest: while short sellers were active in late 2025, early 2026 activity suggests a rebound mode as major catalysts begin to de-risk the story. Investors are not buying Oklo for what it earns today. They are buying it for its 14-gigawatt energy pipeline and the projected commercialization starting in 2027-2028. 5. The risks: what every investor should know. Investing in Oklo is a high beta play. The bull case is bright, but the risks are grounded in 3 harsh realities. The licensing gauntlet. While Oklo has regulatory traction, the NRC previously denied a license application in 2022 due to insufficient information. While they have resubmitted new design criteria, any further delays in NRC approval would be catastrophic for the stock price. The HALEU bottleneck. Oklo's reactors require high-assay low-enriched uranium, HALU. The U.S. is currently racing to establish a domestic supply chain to replace Russian imports. If HALU availability lags, Oklo's reactors will have no fuel to burn. Construction risk. Building a first-of-a-kind faux reactor is notoriously difficult.
Cost overruns and engineering delays are the historical norm for nuclear energy. 6. The competitive landscape, the battle of the SMRs. Oklo is not alone. In 2026, the race for small modular reactors, or SMRs, has narrowed to a few key players. TerraPower, backed by Bill Gates, also recently signed a deal with Meta and is building a 345-megawatt plant in Wyoming. X-Energy, focused on pebble bed technology and backed by Amazon. NuScale holds the only NRC-certified design, but has faced significant project cancellations due to rising costs. Oklo's competitive edge is its small footprint and fuel recycling capability, which appeals to tech giants looking for a sustainable, closed-loop energy solution. 7. Summary checklist for potential investors. Before you invest in Oklo, ask yourself, do I believe the AI power gap is real? AI needs 24/7 power that solar and wind cannot provide with massive batteries. Can I handle 20-30% price swings? This stock moves on news, not earnings. Do I trust the Altman effect? Sam Altman's chairmanship and connections to the tech world provide a strategic advantage in securing contracts that other miners or utilities may not get. Final verdict. Oklo Inc. in 2026 is a binary bet. If they succeed in bringing their Idaho reactor online by 2027 and the first meta phase by 2030, the current valuation will likely be seen as an early entry into a global energy monopoly. However, the path is paved with regulatory mines and engineering hurdles. For the retail investor, Oklo is a high speculative growth play that belongs in the high-risk Highland Ward portion of a portfolio.